And we are live. Haha.
Yeah, yeah, we indeed are. Bad day for India in the office once again. You know, this is something we were hoping for, that this trend won't continue itself, in the sense that we'd have the team batting first, not being able to cope up in a sense, and actually sort of giving away the entire advantage there, and that's almost precisely what happened. Quite disappointed, might I add, with the Indian batting performance. Apart from Virat Kohli, do not really have all that positive to say about anyone. To be fair, honest, I mean, I know Rishabh Pant did score a few runs, but again, his dismissal is something that we'll speak about. Not particularly happy with the way this has gone, with the way India has performed. I'm sure Nathan is chuffed to the bits with how England have performed, and as he should be. Fair enough. Top performance by you guys, Nathan, and I think it's only fair if we start with you. All in all, once again, as I mentioned to you guys in our group chat, a very dominant performance by England, isn't it? Must be extremely mightily pleased about the way the England team has gone about things. Leave aside the toss, because again, toss isn't under anyone's control. But if you look past that, I felt not for a single moment were England on the back foot. Even when Virat was scoring all those runs, I think India got something like 60, 69 runs in the last 5 overs or something like that. I'll actually summarize it until Nathan joins again. England got something like 69 runs in the last 5 overs or something like that. England never really looked in any trouble whatsoever. They always looked like, they were in a sense, they were in some sort of a cruise control sort of a scenario there, and they seemed like quite comfortably they seemed to be chasing the match down. So, rather than Nathan, I'll come to you first. Anurag, yaar, kaisa laga performance? Because honestly, very disappointed, frankly speaking, and quite dejected with the Indian effort all overall. But just a brief word on the English effort before I go to Nathan for his opinions.
Quite dominant. I think, even as brilliant as they were, a fact that the the just the sheer brilliance of Virat Kohli almost tried to do something against the tide was the only reason we are talking at 10:45, not 10:15. That's the Indian Standard Time. Otherwise,
Absolutely.
we all would have been talking 30 minutes earlier if not for the brilliance of Virat Kohli. And
Yeah.
maybe maybe not the best of time as well. We could have just dusted this earlier. But jokes
Yeah.
apart, what a great knock! What beautiful batting from the great man. Besides, I think England, they had it. Mark Wood was absolutely spot on with almost every ball that he bowled in the first 3 overs.
Yeah.
Uh, and all the 3 wickets, he set them up quite well. He bowled very well to even Ishan Kishan and Rohit Sharma. He kept those short lines. He kept them uncomfortable. He made the batsmen do some stupid things. Uh, yeah, I think they set a trap. We fell for it, and they set a trap very well. And in fact, I think in a sense, even I wouldn't blame a lot of batsmen for falling into it. It was they played well. Again, with the
Yeah.
bowling, I think that is where I was more disappointed. Why do you have Washington Sundar in the team? Why? I really don't get it.
This nonsense
I
of
mean,
off spinners not being able to bowl to right handers and leg spinners, finding
it's
it difficult against
nonsense.
left
Uh,
handers is
Yeah.
nonsense. I don't
Let's
understand
just
why do we
categorize that
keep
as nonsense,
playing.
Kushagra.
I mean, bro, but the thing is, we keep playing cricket according to those nonsensical rules, don't we? I mean, we've got an off spinner who still finished with 4 overs, 1 for 26. Do not understand what the fuck was he doing, not bowling in the power play. And I'm sorry for generally swearing, because I don't tend to swear on these videos. But this is really mind numbing. But we'll get to the Indian
utter
discussion
bullshit.
later.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, utter bullshit. That's what I said.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So I'll come to this
Yeah.
Indian discussion later. I think I
Yeah,
think credit must be given to what the team that deserves the credit, and England deserve all the credit. Thoroughly outplayed India. Nathan, was the question I was asking you earlier was, not for a moment did England seem in any kind of a trouble or in any kind of a hassle whatsoever. When it came to chasing this target down, they seemed like they were well on course to do it, and they did. Jos Buttler with a
just a small
special
point.
special.
Just a small point. Thanks to Roy and David Mullen for giving us those 2 wickets by themselves.
Yeah, I mean, really. And also
Yeah.
massive props to Kohli and Yuzvendra Chahal, who dropped 2 catches which should have been taken. So yeah, again, talking about, we will not even get to the Indian fielding effort because it's almost as bad as the batting effort, I feel. So I'll come to you, Nathan. How about? I mean, you must take a lot of confidence with this victory because coming into India now, you've played on 3 different kinds of pitches, I feel, and on all 3 pitches, apart from the second match, I felt like I think England missed a trick by not really getting onto the scoreboard enough, in the sense that I thought this is something that happened to England in the second match. They left it a little short, getting 150, 160 odd, and which helped India chase the total comfortably. I predicted a 17th to 18th over victory for England. It just went over by 2 balls. I think England were well on course to do that. Jos Buttler might have gotten 100, as Shashank mentioned, had the target been 10, 12 runs more. But just your thoughts on the match. You must be very, very happy and very excited with this team.
Oh, it's incredible. I still remember 2015 and earlier how bad we were. So it's just like it's the whole switch from then. But overall, I thought Morgan out-captained Kohli today. I thought his bowling choices at the start were absolutely superb. I would have done it differently, but that's why Kohli's the England captain and I'm not. Well, it just proves that why he is the captain. I mean, I would have kept Wood a bit later on because I've always said about him being in the middle order, but he's proved it to go earlier. I've never seen Sharma Rohit look so at sea to a bowler. I'd actually seen a stat that Rohit had. This is the first delivery of the day. Was played 3 games against Jofra, gone for 3 runs and 2 wickets. So had Jofra not thought the ball was coming a lot harder, that would have read 3-3-3.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So that sort of start's just incredible to say the least, because obviously Rohit's one of the best one-day players. I thought you've got to give credit to Kohli. Some of those shots were just incredible. I'm not really sure what else we could have done. You just sometimes hold your hand up and say, what a batsman. Without trying to go into too much of the pitch, it did come quite a lot after his 30 delivery, so maybe your batters could have taken an extra 6 to 12 balls to get settled. But that's another topic. And then with the batting, this is why Jos Buttler's at the top. He is up there with the best batsman in the world. If he's at 4,
absolutely,
he doesn't get the 83. Did he finish 84 or 50? Something like that. Whatever. Can't remember exactly, but it's just simply he is just simply the best batsman that England have got in the T20. And I personally think, and I know you guys might disagree, he's actually better than KP. He is the most lethal. He's more dynamic. He's so clever with the bat. He had
level-headed as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, very level-headed.
His dot ball rate was with Kohli's, and obviously Kohli's someone that rotates strike with boundaries. So just keeping, he had 12 dot balls in his first 50. I don't know what happened after that, but that's just some incredible stats. I mean, what do you do to Josh apart from hide from your captain and don't bowl? There's not much you can do, and sometimes you just got to take your hat off and think that man is a player.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then did well at the end.
I think he whatever little hope the Indians had from Kohli's knock, Butler did well to absolutely take it away. And I'd also like to welcome Siddharth to the panel as well. Welcome back, Reggae. Not a very happy day for you to be joining back in. I'll come to you guys. I'll come to Pratnesh right after this. After I take a few comments, I want his opinions on the match, because we were even though we were happy with Kohli's innings, we were a bit downcast during the mid-innings break. I'm sure Pratnesh should remember that. So. And it has come to pass. Unfortunately, the match has gone the way we expected it to go. Especially with the way India started. I'll have a discussion with Pratmesh and Siddharth on that a little later. Shashank says, "Sorry, India fans. I told England will win and Sky would be dropped, and Butler would get 100." Shashank almost spot on in all of his predictions.
Almost,
I hate you for that.
Yeah. Poor captaincy and poor team selection. In last game, I would say consequences were faced today, because Ishan Kishan played well last game. I mean, there's also a lot to be said by the application showed by the batsman. Yes, Kohli was out-captained by Owen Morgan, but again, a flip of the coin doesn't mean that Kohli was really
just a
out
small
captain.
thing to add.
Yeah.
I mean, I get. See, I think all of India would be terribly feeling bad for Surya Kumar Yadav to get dropped. I get that. I get the sentimental part of it. But this team, I don't agree with the fact that this was bad
I
selection.
don't
I mean,
agree with
that's a
that either. I mean,
fantastic
It wasn't
team.
bad selection.
I don't-
It definitely
frankly,
wasn't.
It's just stupid
frankly, Anurag,
application. Yeah.
Yeah, frankly, Anurag, I don't think Surya Kumar Yadav being there would have made jack shit of a difference at all. It wouldn't have, because Surya Kumar Yadav playing his first ever international innings, coming at at 5, 6, 7, whatever he might have come at. I don't expect him to pull out trees and then give us a 60 of like 25 balls. That's not going to happen. So I don't get that Surya Kumar Yadav discussion. What pisses me off is KL Rahul, Rohit Sharma, Ishan Kishan, stupidity by Rishabh Pant and Virat Kohli combined, and the fact that you use Hardik Pandya so late, it almost gives him no opportunity to come in and settle down. If he's going to be a pinch hitter, it's not literally like he's having a pinch of salt, isn't it? Like he needs a few balls to even be a pinch hitter. Can't expect him to be 6 balls 36 all the time, because that's not going to happen. So I mean, I think there's a problem. So, sorry, Nathan.
So that's my view. I think Pandya is too low in your batting order.
Absolutely. I think if you're sending Pant up, I would rather you send Hardik Pandya up. Hi Manish, thanks for joining in as well. We've got a full house
full
today,
panel today.
Our panelist, full panel.
I don't know why I did it with both my hands, but
Nathan show tonight. Navjeevan adds, man, it would probably be Shashank Sharma. Those RR players are just too good. They are. I mean, Rajasthan Royals must be very happy. Win toss, win matches. Chase says, amazing. If Archer had a wicket, we could have called it RRD. Of course, Bhuvneshwar wicketless again. I felt Bhuvneshwar Tejdeep was probably the best bowler on show for India. Whether he went wicketless or not was irrelevant for me. I think he was fantastic. Bhuvneshwar
Good to see him also well.
Yeah, he was bowling well. And you see what the target was, the way these guys are batting. I really enjoyed Bhuvneshwar's bowling, to be honest. I got more irritated with Shardul Thakur and Yuzvendra Chahal, to be very honest. I mean, can't wait to hear Nathan today. Nishwasti adds, Mark Wood gave up on 8 to 10 crores this year. Might actually end up winning a T20 World Cup at the end of the year. I think he would trade that for
also
a World Cup medal.
Also, mental peace with his family. I think that's good enough. I mean,
KD supporting the team in red. No, Shivam, it's already summer here, isn't it? And I don't have that many sweatshirts out. So this was the only one I could put on today. Didn't like the idea of Thakur being a panelist commenting.
Panelists are not allowed to comment.
This was before I joined.
This is irony.
This is before he joined. Yes.
This is hypocrisy.
I was setting up my conversation.
He was setting up his own point. This is how professional reggae is. Reggae will subtly throw in a talking point, and then he's like, I'm on the panel, he's going to come to me anyway, right? So, I'll talk about what I want to talk about, and that's how it's going to go. Being a second bowler, 2 out and out fast wicket taking fast bowlers should be a constant. Agree with you, Siddharth, and I feel India are constantly missing a trick by not playing a bowler who bowls 145 and above. I think we've got Navdeep Saini in the squad. I mean, Shardul and Hardik are spraying the ball around. Why not just get Navdeep Saini in? At least get that 145, 150 clear.
Hardik was faster than Shardul, I guess, today.
I think Hardik in general is faster than Shardul.
Yeah.
We don't need a new captain, Tejdeep. I don't agree with
here we go.
I don't agree with that. Mark Wood did it for England with the ball. And Butler with the bat, obviously. All right. I'll take a few comments. Varun says, Indian team win thanks to individual brilliance. Yes. Team loses, sack VK. Then VK is this, VK is that.
I've had enough of this.
Yes. That is true. I think UZ needs to be dropped, not for the squad, but for the next game. Kind of rest, because he isn't the best touches. Play Tewatia instead of UZ and Saini instead of Kishan. I don't think you play Saini instead of Kishan. I think you play Saini instead of Shardul. What is Shardul's utility to the team? I mean, I'll come with this question to Pratmesh as well. He told me in the group chat.
That will say, what is Saini's utility in the team?
11 batsmen खिला दो ना. Bowling करने
exactly. I don't get it. Shardul Thakur gets a leg up because he can also hit a few sixes. frankly, if you're really hoping for Shardul or Deepak Chahar or Navdeep Saini at number 9, number 10, number
I
11
think we
to
should reverse
hit
the
a few-
batting order. Bumrah comes at the top, and then you have all these guys at the bottom.
Yeah,
It's like the reverse engineering,
Anurag,
isn't
sorry.
it?
Siddharth,
I'd be open to
Bumrah
that.
comes at the top. He belts the first ball into the head of the bowler so that bowler cannot bowl in that innings. And then the rest of the team.
Okay.
Yeah.
This comment, this nonsensical comment. Let's be honest here. Morgan's captaincy and Virat's captaincy cannot be compared at all. One is way ahead of the other. You mean to say one who captains the team in all formats and the other who cannot play one out of 3 formats? Is it? I'm not really, going in on it. And it's just nonsense.
What he
I mean,
means-
if okay. To be very honest, to all other people who are commenting, if you're going to comment on the captaincy, I'm taking an executive decision. We're not taking your comments. Really, I mean, don't feel bad about that because I don't think that is the issue. We always digress from the issue by talking about those things. Really, I mean, Virat Kohli is a fantastic player. He's one of the best in the world. Very hard to bowl to him. Of course,
I think
you don't want to play knocks that don't help the team. Yes, yes, absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. I mean,
Yeah. This knock was, I think, in individuality. This knock was up there.
To be
This
very,
knock was up there with the Mohali
to be
knock,
very
but
honest
probably
and
the result.
respectful.
Wasn't
this
Ishan
council-
opening today? Wasn't Ishan opening today?
Technically, he was opening, and also, to be very honest, once again, that's a crap comment to make seriously. I mean, yeah, coming back, I know a lot of people won't like this, but I'm not getting into this agenda discussion here. Masoom Jain born as one year. India proving again and again they can lose a match in the first 5 overs. Amit, yes, that's spot on. Spot on. Where was the question on Morgan's captaincy when Ishan? Exactly when Ishan and I know. Morgan captains a team which Morgan. Yeah, I mean, were there questions, Nathan? Were there questions on Morgan's captaincy just because he lost a match?
No, we don't expect to win that often, so we don't really have that same expectations. It's just new that we are winning.
Oh God.
We're still in that transitional period of actually thinking England do win one-day games.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, we'll take. This has become a discussion in itself on whether the toss.
Let's leave that to the comments. I think they can have the fun.
I think let's leave that to the comments. Let's leave that to the comments. I'll take this because I like the stat and sort of proves my point. He starts like Corolla but finishes like a Ferrari. Dinesh Karthik on Kohli's knock. I think.
Come on.
I mean, but Corolla doesn't start at that level. That pace.
He was 25 balls. Virat was 24, and then he just accelerated about 230. It was incredible.
And I also massive props to Jos Buttler. He started from ball 1.
Yeah.
Most T20I half centuries. Williamson
he started
and Kohli
from
level
ball 1 of Yuzvendra Chahal. Yes.
Yeah, he did.
Amay says toss is playing a massive factor in the series, which is quite a shame. I mean, obviously, I think
Kushagar, can I go ahead and say something? I think
Shashank, in that spirit, Shashank, I would say, let's just leave that opinion then.
Yeah.
If it doesn't matter.
Kushagar, I think toss is
rather than the captaincy discussion, maybe a toss.
No, it's not about the captaincy.
But the approach in batting from India. I'd like your opinions on that.
See, talking about the toss, I feel it's more mental game, but I think teams are losing themselves when they lose the toss. And you just, as a batting unit, you need to make sure that you have a target in mind which is realistic, which at the same time can be a match-winning target, and you need to approach it in that way. And I think Virat Kohli showed the entire Indian and English team today how to bat on this wicket. You talk about sheet anchors and things of that sort. Virat Kohli batted with a strike rate of 167. So he showed how you could beat 25 balls 24 and then end up being at a strike rate of 167 at the end of the innings while scoring a 70. So I think you need to make sure that how your batting strategies are going. I mean, massive kudos to Jos Buttler there because he showed how aggressive cricket can be played on this kind of surface as well. He took us on the right deliveries, did not go about just fishing about for the balls. He waited for the balls that were slightly in his arc, and he just, his form and his quality just took him over the line. Indian batting, Kushagra, I felt I think the one major aspect that is different from Virat Kohli and the other batsmen, I think when Indian batsmen start moving in the crease, there is a very visible sign that the batsmen lose their balance. You look at the way Rohit Sharma got out. While he was moving, he lost his balance, he lost his shape. Ishan Kishan, while trying to play the faster delivery, lost his shape, which usually doesn't isn't the case. With KL, I don't think there was any shape to begin with. Uh, I mean, only the ball had the shape. I don't think his batting had anything today. You look at Shreyas Iyer, how disappointing was that dismissal? Rishabh Pant and Virat Kohli, I don't know what they were thinking. I genuinely don't. I felt it was a brain fade moment. I don't think I'm going to comment anything more than that because I think it can happen on a cricket pitch and it just happened at the very worst times possible. Thank God
See,
that it did not
I
happen in
think,
the World
in a
Cup final.
sense,
It happened here.
it is sometimes a little intimidating to say no to a captain. I think that's why Pant just took off and
Yes,
went for
yes,
it,
yes. I think
which is
it
not
is intimidating,
defensible, but at the
especially
same time, don't blame him totally. It's fine,
especially
but
when the
still, I think,
captain's Virat,
yeah,
who is always willing to take those runs, and
yeah.
it was, and you could just see right how far Rishabh was away. I don't think both of them should have even decided to take that run. Although Virat did reach the other
Virat
end, I
was
think he could have
totally
also.
wrong in asking for it because even though Pant was so far in, he almost reached. He almost reached.
Yeah,
So maybe
and that
Look,
he
I
and I think
agree with
after
him.
that,
I agree with Anurag on the basis that how many people have you seen say no when Dhoni would have asked for a single like that, for a double like that,
yeah,
Yeah.
for a second run like that, you know?
never happens. Never happens.
I
It's
mean,
I think
Manish has
something.
got some thoughts, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah,
Yeah, just to add on the batting approach, this is something which Lakshmi Shiva Ramakrishnan mentioned in the first match and also today as well. You got to approach when you're batting first like a 20 over game and shouldn't approach like, the
yeah,
power play as such. This is what we saw in the first game as well, where we were like 22 for 3 and today again 24 for 3. When you have someone like a Mark Wood seaming in at pace, give him that respect, play him out. You have other bowlers that you can take on. This is
yeah,
what exactly what Virat did. He started off brilliant. He played out, the good deliveries, and that is exactly what we've seen in the two games, in the first T20 international as well as the third. And he said the same point today again. Why are we looking at the
yeah,
power play as the major factor? It's a 20 over game, and
yeah,
we have all seen how good Virat was at the end. He just
yeah,
was, even Mark Wood, like you mentioned, it's too difficult to bowl to him. He was messing with his line, playing with bowler's head.
yeah.
So this is something I believe should be, changed if we get to bat again first in the remaining two
Yeah.
games.
I think Manish, it also matters, right? Which is the batsman that is batting during the power play when you might have to go in a hell for leather during the power play. You look at Jos Buttler, someone who's got all the shots in the book, waited for Yuzvendra Chahal to come in. He knew that a target, I mean, yes, obviously when you have a target, it's slightly easier. When you're batting first, it's a little more difficult because you don't know what target you want to set, maybe. And that is a problem because if you don't know what target you want to set, you don't know how to approach the innings. That is when you start making all of these nonsensical decisions. So if you have a clear roadmap in your brain, okay, 10 overs, even if we are, say, 70 odd for a wicket or, 60 odd for no loss, we can still score 100, from here, get to 180, and then see what happens. Or else, make a clear plan. Okay, we want to go hell for leather in the power play. Which are the batsmen that can help us do that? Someone like Ishan Kishan for that matter. Someone like, then you ask someone like Virat probably to, come forward in the batting because it's just the classical way of him finding gaps that can actually help in the power play rather than, just swinging at everything and hoping that it clears a 30-yard circle and you get boundaries. So there are things that you plan and things that you look to work out on, which didn't happen today. You look at the way Mark Wood and Jofra Archer were bowling in the first couple of overs which they bowled. There was no way you're going to hit them away. You could have just stayed on the wicket, saved. I mean, it's not about saving a
I
wicket
mean, unless
either,
you're
but it's
Rishabh
like
Pant and reverse sweep someone for six, that's a different.
yeah, as audacious as that is, it's not going to happen every game. So I think even if India say at the end of power play were like 35, 40 for no wicket or one wicket, it would have still been much easier for India to recover from that rather than being 25 odd for three wickets and then having to recover all over again. And if not for Virat, I think you guys are right. We would have done this live at 10 o'clock. I mean, Virat was the only guy who saved us. You look at the way we approached our batting towards the end. when you know that power hitting is not working on a pitch like this, you need to find gaps. You need to be more proactive. Your feet movement needs to be better. Hardik was just swinging his bat at everything. I think, and you just look at it and you just think, okay, look at what Virat's doing. He is moving around in the crease, which people talk about, but he was stable at point of impact. Look at the way he just executed those gaps and those shots and just played smart cricket and got his runs. And I think this is where India have to be more clever. It's a team struggle that we have seen over the last few years in T20 cricket. Every time we bat first, this is an issue. Every time. I read a stat somewhere that out of the last seven, I think since 2019, we have only won one T20I batting first. So there is an issue. There is a pressing issue that India need to address while batting first, because you're not going to play every match batting second. I think that is where we need to make sure we are better.
Just
So
to add
that
on to
sums
that
up
though,
all the batting discussion. Yes.
when you bat first and you lose 3 wickets in the power play, you've 4 in 5 chance of losing the game. So it's a great saying is you can't win a game in the power play, but you can lose it, and that's what India have done in both games they batted first.
They indeed have. I mean, I think you're right. You really cannot win a match in the first 4-5 overs. Even if you're 50.
One thing to add. Varun has been texting me personally, the person who comments. He says even if India reaches finals and loses by boundary count, there are a lot of people who'll be like blaming captaincy for it.
That is true. That is true.
And
you know,
we didn't score enough boundaries apparently.
Yeah.
So, there's a question for everyone. Who do you want to lead in this team in the upcoming T20 World Cup? Just your
Virat
opinion,
Kohli.
because I've already given mine.
Virat Kohli.
I was
Virat Kohli.
I think Rahul
It's a
Chair will be a
unanimous
good
decision.
place.
Rahul Chair. Yashasvi Jaiswal.
Guys, we're being harsh
I
on
was-
Prithvi show.
Ramesh Pawar.
I was nearly in tears, Morgan says, when I received the 100th
Morgan.
cap from Butler. He's a great leader and a friend of mine, and he's a world-class player with an average of 50 and striker to 150 as an all-opener. And yes, I mean, he was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. The problem is we don't have a dasher at the top. Both KL and Rohit like to take a few balls to get set, and then we sort of get to a slow start. We always do get to a slow start. I know. Shang says, who do I want as an English fan or a cricket fan? Yes, Masoom, I have skipped a lot of comments today. And the comment you're mentioning about Virat dropping like 8 catches, which is the most amongst any test playing nation for a fielder since 2019, definitely hasn't skipped my eyes there. Because a lot of comments was the discussion between commenters themselves about the captaincy and everything else, and we don't really want to get into that discussion right now because I feel like we'll get digressed from the main point. Coming back to the next match, and I'd once again go to Sid here and then come to Anurag and Nathan as well.
Shagrat, this is the reason, right?
Manish.
This is the reason.
Team India knew TSD lies happens at 10. They can't even imagine take that slot, but Virat had other plans. Oh God, come on.
Yeah.
That's not true. Without Bumrah, we can't defend a score below 160. That's the bottom line. How times have changed. Virat 170 in tests, 172 in tests, and 150 in the last 2 innings. I mean, let's just leave it, bro. Leave it. Except for some Twitter experts, the Indian team management, selectors, players, and many fans will be backing Virat Kohli to lead us. True, fair enough. Fair enough.
KD, another stat: we haven't defended a total less than 200 batting first in almost like 1.5 years.
Yeah. Srishti just being cheeky here. बाकियों को भी भावना है, बाकियों को भी share करने दो भावना है. PP, I mean, of course, she's talking about nothing is long term. We're just experimenting. Vikram Rathore and Virat Kohli. Just hope I mean that's
I hope
the
that's an experiment that it don't
ensue.
continue on. I mean, genuinely.
I'll come to you, Sid. I'll come to you, Sid. We've seen 3 matches. We've seen, of course, toss is something we can't predict, right? I mean, we can hope that India wins the toss in the next match, but that's all real. That's all hope at all. I mean, like, it's just basically hope only. I mean, there's not much beyond that. But coming into this game, the 4th match now that we'll play. What do you think? What do you make of it? What do you think will be the scenario there? And changes. Again, we talk about changes because I think there should be changes once again in the fourth T20I. So, what are the changes that you're looking at? Because I genuinely feel we need to change Shardul Thakur. Probably need to change Yuzvendra Chahal as well, and we need to change our mindset towards Washington Sundar. If you have him in the team, he has to bowl in the power play. I don't get it if he doesn't bowl in the power play.
Yeah.
I think firstly the captain. Okay, so I think we seem to
I
the
don't like how this
problem.
started, Sid.
See, the problem is that looking at the past three matches, it seems like we have a plan for everything but our top two batsmen. So I would really like to, India be sticking to two players. The problem with us is that we saw Ishan Kishan play well in that opening spot in the second game, and I absolutely see no reason to not play him there in the second game. I understand that KL Rahul and Rohit had to come in, and in that case, well, Ishan Kishan is the one who has to bear that brunt. But I would like to see some stability, which we haven't seen in the first three games, in that at least the top in the first and the second position, because that's where we have lost. I don't care if it's KL Rahul and Rohit for the rest of the series, but let's just open with two decided players for a while, because the problem is with too much experimenting and not a lot of time, we will be in we won't have clarity by the time we reach the T20 World Cup. So I would like to have that stability in the top three. In fact, I think Virat Kohli should now stabilize his position there. And there you have, I guess you have a plan for Shreyas Iyer as well. I think he has fit in well into the team. In
Yeah.
terms of bowling, as I said, yeah, I don't like the idea of playing 10 batsmen in a T20 series, in in a T20 match, uh, because आज देख लिया what not having a second fast bowler does to your team. Second out and out fast specialist bowler, because I don't see Shardul Thakur taking
At least white ball
full.
cricket, Siddharth, I agree
Yeah,
with
white
I
ball's
agree with
tough.
Pratnesh. He mentioned that in our chat as well. White ball cricket, I don't think he is that much of a luxury. Maybe in the 50 over format when he has more time, maybe, but definitely not in the T20 format.
Yeah.
I don't understand his
He's better
selection
suited as
over
a red
someone
ball
like
player, I
Deepak
guess.
Chahar. I don't get it. Deepak Chahar is a better fielder. He's a definitely a better bowler, that better new ball bowler as well,
Yeah,
and
better
more
new ball
control,
bowler.
more deception. I don't get this logic of Shardul Thakur playing above him. Play horses for courses, right? I mean, Shardul definitely red ball. He's proven his worth. Can keep coming in, especially in matches that are outside of India, because you need that. Maybe a number seven or a number eight who can maybe probably swing his bat, counter the swing and seam. But really, in India, white ball, even Chennai drops in so many times, man.
Yeah, I think for the fourth game, I see Natarajan also having a say in the. I think Natarajan
Yeah.
could come in
We
uh,
yeah, we've
as
not
the
bowled.
second bowler.
I can't remember a single Yorker, Siddharth, in the entire innings. Not a single
Yeah,
Yorker.
Yeah.
yeah. So we need some. I think with Bumrah that, and I didn't even see Bhuvaneshwar bowl a Yorker in that sense.
Yeah.
He generally does that in the death overs, but well, by that time, generally the match was more or less over. So uh, uh, probably someone like a Natarajan who has that element of having a bit more pace than Shardul, and also adds that Yorker in the. Uh,
Apparently, he's on his way back, right?
yeah, I
Yeah,
think
he
he's
is.
gonna
He is.
be in the squad for the fourth game.
Yeah, he's gonna be there.
And Chahal, I
All
think we have to continue playing Chahal. Because I think if you're looking at the T20 World Cup, I don't see Chahal being on the bench. Either he's out of the squad or he is in the first 11. So I think Chahal continues to be there
Makes
with
sense.
Washington Sundar. Again, the problem is you don't have a plan, and if you don't have a plan, uh,
Yeah.
where will that X factor come from? So either you bowl a
fair enough.
second,
Yeah.
either
It's
you
worrying,
bowl.
right, Kushagra? Because Sundar plays for RCB under Virat Kohli. He knows exactly what Sundar's strengths are. In RCB, he bowls those initial overs, irrespective of the fact whether it's a right-handed batsman or a left-handed batsman. if you as a captain know what his strengths are, and I think if you as a captain can convince the team management, I don't think even team management could do anything once you're out on the pitch, right? Just let Sundar bowl. That is his area of expertise. This is like asking Nike to manufacture cars. They don't do that.
I mean, yeah, agreed, absolutely agree. I mean, I think if they went into cars, they'll probably do that well as well, knowing the reputation. But coming back to Washington Sundar, I absolutely agree with you. I don't get the point why Virat doesn't use him. Another suggestion there, I see a lot of Rahul Tewatia being mentioned, and I think Shashank has confirmed that Rahul Tewatia is fit, and yep, he is fit. He's ready to be selected. So I'll come to Manish with that. Seeing the RR connection. I'll just take a few more comments if I can. Yeah, this is the Dodgy Mulan. I was going to call him Dodgy Mulan. Comments haven't been really out of the block. He's scored a total of 42 runs of like 40 deliveries. He's been absorbing balls and getting out before he's accelerated. That is a question. He can be questioned around that. We've seen questions around that. Can't rely on toss. India or England have to change their mindset. Exactly, Navjeevan is spot on. I feel this is again a mindset issue more than a real issue of the pitch or of the conditions. Mindset that they will be batting first and post runs on board as setting the target seems to be a problem for both sides. This is what I spoke
whatever
pre-match,
Michael Vaughan tweets isn't a genuine problem.
It
He
really is.
tweeted about the toss today.
Yeah. Virat did say KL is one of the main batsmen, so he's certainly to play all 5 games. If he does, I just hope KL gets his form back because KL is genuinely a vital batsman for us. Virat should bat at 3, his world, because 3 is his position. I don't think we're not talking about Virat batting anywhere else. At least I agree that you need to experiment, but don't experiment so much that you do not end up getting a solution. You just end up getting a lab experiment that turns into an explosion. Don't experiment with chemicals that are explosive. Experiment with chemicals that actually mesh well together. Don't do that. I mean, simple things there. Today is about Morgan reaching the milestone. Owen, along with the others, has taken our white ball fortunes to somewhere it's never been before. Nathan, who are you quoting there, Nathan?
Exactly. Himself?
Yeah. Josh Butler's just said it, but I just added a line below it. It said, that's why captaincy's never been questioned.
Also, I feel Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma themselves have not helped the situation about this constant comparison there because they don't genuinely come out in support of each other unless they have to. I would probably say I've seen Virat do it more because he's generally doing more press conferences because he's the captain for India, so he's more under the spotlight with that question. But again, neither of them have really taken the initiative themselves to come out.
Yeah.
I can see a little bit. I can hear a little bit of echo if you guys can stay on mute.
Yeah.
Or maybe I can hear the post-match commentary. Either of which are not good. Nathan, it's from your end, I think.
Yeah, my phone's froze now, so I can't even cut it off.
All right. Amit adds, everyone talks about matchups in T20. Why Hardik is being thrown in front of Archer and Wood after 14 overs. If you want to go give him tempo, if you want to up the tempo, why not give him a go during Sam Curran? Yes, of course. And Jordan. Chahal can become a concussion substitute, bro. Navjeevan adds, yeah. India won only 12 of the last 20 matches while batting first. As many as 11 of those 12 wins featured a 50 plus from Rohit or KL. All right. Both teams can't win batting first. I mean, that's the thing. Let's hope we can change. Welcome to chemistry classes with Kusha. All right, Prakash. I'll come to you. Manish, now, man.
The rate at which he's going, he'll be. I mean, it'll be Breaking Bad Indian version.
Yeah, I mean, Kushala doesn't have to worry about getting a job. He just has to stick posters in Delhi Cant. I'm taking tuitions. I think he's pretty sorted in life then.
That's not what happens in Breaking Bad, but yeah.
really not. But yeah, coming back to you, Manish. I know. Probably shouldn't be asking this question, but a little bit of a point on Rahul Tewatia since he seems to be very popular in the comments. Once again, sorry guys, this is a quick show. We're probably going to wrap up in another 5 or 6 minutes. We want to keep it as a short show because we've not been, we've not been getting great responses in terms of having longer shows. People have actually complained that you go on for too long. So We'll try to keep it short and concise for you guys today.
Sorry, Navjeevan.
Sorry, Navjeevan. And also, Manish, answer these questions for me. Does Sky feature now? And do you honestly believe that we can win the series 3-2? Yes and no. To Amay and Shivam. Yes, Manish.
For the first
The
one,
Rahul Tewatia question. Do you get in Rahul Tewatia?
I'm just confused. Where will you play him? Whom do you drop? Like, do you drop Yuzvendra Chahal? I mean, because Tewatia isn't a genuine leg spinner who turns the ball really well. But then
He'll
you
have
drop,
extra batsmen.
I mean,
Tewatia can open
once
the
again,
bowling.
they will have Siddharth coming in and once again telling us 11 batsmen kyun khila rahe if we play Rahul Tewatia. So the question is, where do you slot him? Do you remove someone like Sundar, who is like brought in as a T20 specialist? So I really don't see him getting a game unless it goes to the fifth, unless and until the last match. Talking about Sky, definitely, but kisko बैठाएंगे? If the team management has so much confidence in KL Rahul, where do you play him? Like, where do you play him? But I hope he gets some chances over there.
I don't know what Sid's reaction is, but I'm curious to find out.
यार उसको 7th पोजीशन पे मत खिलाओ. Don't play him as number 7 यार. उससे अच्छा मत खिलाओ.
He's a number 3 batsman.
अरे नहीं सोचो ना, exactly मेरा भी यही point है Manish. And since we're conversing with you only, I'll keep the question to you itself. Yeah, now I mean we already, as Nathan also mentioned earlier, we're playing Hardik already so low. What is the point of Tewatia really? I mean, what are you expecting? You're going to be 70 for 6?
Let's not, jinx it. I mean, kya pata ho jaye, But I hope now, otherwise people are going to come banging, tune bola. But I don't see him playing in that game.
They're not that famous, but yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Anurag.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Look at the cocktail. Look at the cocktail. Manish seems like he's taken a cocktail of Valium and Xanax. That is
what are these two things, guys, by the way? That's the first question.
These are all muscle relaxants, if I want to put them very mildly. And they basically
that's the most intelligent comment anyone has put today.
Yeah.
Shagra, just one point. If you really want to bring in Sky, this might not be a popular opinion. Why not rest someone like a Rishabh Pant who looks like a certainty for our team and play KL Rahul as a keeper?
Yeah.
That could be a solution for Sky. Maybe I don't know if it would work for the Indian team, but that's the only way I see him coming in. Dropping someone like a Rishabh Pant or Shreyas Iyer, which would be unfair to both of them. But अब क्या करें? इतने ज़्यादा batsmen हैं हमारी team में. Other than that, I really don't know how they'll fit in all these players.
Kushagra, the major problem is
मेरे घर के पास शादी हो रही है.
या
प्रथमेश, मेरे घर के पास शादी हो रही है. खूब सारे पटाखे बज रहे हैं. I was honestly getting annoyed as to who's so happy that they're bursting crackers today. I just looked outside and saw Bharat. I was like, okay, fine, let them be. I'll not abuse from the window. I was like, match नहीं देखा क्या?
I'm pretty sure they could care less.
शादी है 2 साल के बाद देखेंगे.
Yeah, KD should become the Mad King of GOT to tackle the comments. Why not? Yeah. Nathan says he's lost all internet connection. I'm sure he's very gutted about that. He was really enjoying his smug look on the show. And even Amit mentioned, that he did not like the confidence with which Nathan was talking in the pre-match show, and he was, his confidence was well justified. Tewatia maybe comes in for a batsman. Amay adds, that's the only way he gets in. Nathan says geography, science, and movies.
This is for you.
Yeah. We're not Rajasthan Royals to have Tewatia rescue us down the order. Well, has been in poor form. Mayank in the comments, thanks man for joining in. Yes, he's played 12 matches, 10 wickets, 9.4. We discussed this, Mayank, in the pre-match. If you look at it, if you look at the pre-match discussion, Anurag and I specifically went in on this, discussed it quite extensively. Vikram Rathore and KL Rahul. Rahul has arguably been the best player in white ball formats for us. It is time for us to back him.
What?
No, I am.
He must be talking about within a very specific time frame, right? He's not talking in general. Yeah, I mean, if you look at it from the New Zealand T20I,
From
still Australia.
2019, yes, he has been.
Yeah,
In a
of
sense,
course,
he
from
has
New
been. Yeah.
Zealand,
Yeah.
New
I mean,
Zealand
yes. See,
T20I is
Rohit Sharma has had
Anurag.
his time. He's done well in the ODIs. Yes, but I think what maybe I would not say he's been. He still says arguably, so it is there for arguments. Obviously, Rohit Sharma has been up there on top, but I think after Rohit Sharma, it is just KL Rahul. Only these both have been
Yeah.
incredibly consistent. I I actually agree with what he says here. I mean, it is time for him to back. I don't mind that.
Also, we've meddled his thinking so much. We've not really
Yeah,
told him what is his
Yeah.
role in the
We
team.
haven't given
I
him
We've
a
don't
never
think
proper
really
any.
been
position.
consistent with that.
I mean,
Quickly, guys,
yeah.
your final few comments. Pant shouldn't be rested at any cost. Look good all three games.
Yeah.
Absolutely, Amen. Do not agree with Pant, being rested at all. Especially now that you need to win the next two matches. Nathan is back. Uh, yeah, Nathan is back with us. Guys, quickly, chaps, if you could give me your final comments. We'll start with Pratmesh and then go along in that order. Pratmesh, if you could give me your final comments as we wrap a day in which, once again, massive congratulations and props to England. They've done very well to actually go 2-1 up in the series. And for me, they're overwhelming favorites now to take the series home with them back in England. So, Pratmesh, just your final opinions on this match. I'll not take your 11 or anything like that.
Yeah.
We'll leave that to tomorrow and day after, our predictions for the 11. But as far as the match today was concerned, overall performance and everything around that.
Yeah.
All
No, I
right.
just want.
BCCI has
Yeah.
also cancelled all domestic series of every age group, seeing increasing number of COVID-19 cases in the country. Nathan, now is your moment to gloat. Of course it is. Pratnesh, you start first. I'll give Nathan the stage
Yeah.
just in a little bit.
No, I just want to leave you guys with a thought. Why not play the why not use the batting order depending on the situation than being rigid about it? I think that's what England have done very well over the last few years. Why not do that if you're trying to be England and Australia in terms of your strategy? So just try to do that.
Are
And
we really?
I mean,
And do we really need to be? Is my
we don't
question. I
need
mean,
to.
to
That's the
everyone
thing, right,
else.
Kushagra? We don't need to. If it is 14 overs out, and if India 120 for one, you might as well send Hardik Pandya. I mean, it doesn't matter which position. You just have like a bunch of 6, 7 batsmen who can. It's like you can just add anyone anywhere, and they can just blend in. I think that's the thought that we probably have to go in when you look at freedom and things like that. I think that works well in franchise cricket. I don't think it. I don't know how it is going to work in international cricket, but I think Indians certainly have the ability to pull it off.
I think that's what has worked with the Mumbai Indians as well. They have a good situational
Yeah,
strategizing and planning in what they do. They know when to send Kyron Pollard out. They know when to say send Hardik Pandya out, and they also know when to send Krunal Pandya out. So I think that's something that we should target rather than doing all sorts of experimentations everywhere on the field.
I mean, it seems like everything's an experiment with India, right? Isn't it? I think Pratmesh is absolutely spot on there. So, Sid, are those your final thoughts, or do you want me to come back to you again to discuss the final thoughts? Because I think that's quite apt and succinct for your final thoughts. Because we really need to start doing things that work rather than actually hoping for things to come out well in the experiments.
Yeah, because at this rate, I think we'll have to take 40 players to the T20 World Cup, and that is not a good
That also might not be
sign of
enough.
things. Yeah. So I think
Maybe 35 batsmen.
35 batsmen, yes.
35 batsmen.
We actually have 40 good players. Funnily.
We might have more than that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sid, yeah, you were saying.
yeah, I think it's time we just stick to players. I agree with Vikram Rathore over there. I think we have all the reasons to be backing KL Rahul despite these three matches, and I would
yeah,
very well like to see him in the remaining two as well. I doubt it that he will be playing the fourth match, considering Dhawan has now sat out two matches. But I think it's time we stick to something, have some stability in the side, and then do minor experimentations, keeping in mind that you don't fiddle a lot with your base. I think that's what's needed, considering we are what now 6 months away from the big thing.
yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Manish, your final thoughts on the match. Tough day for India at the office. Not a good performance by most of the team, might I add. Just a few standout performances, rather few, decent performances. So, just I mean, in the name of experiments, we are doing a crap shoot, throwing all the shit we got to see what sticks. Absolutely, it's probably true. But Manish, your thoughts, your final thoughts.
I'm just going to take on what Amit also said, but this is this is the only series that we have that we're playing as a team to experiment. So on the match, I think trying to look at the positives, Virat's innings once again, a blinder, that was the biggest positive of all. Was happy to see Bhuvneshwar swing the ball, and getting that control back. So that was another positive, which I was really happy to see. But other than that, another day, another experiment, some barely anything wrong today, but I believe that they will come back stronger in the fourth game. So yeah, nothing much to add over there.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Nathan, since you've made all these efforts to join in, it'll not be fair. It'll not be fair. There are a few questions for you as well. And do you think England should play
What is the obsession with extra batsmen?
And will England keep their playing 11 same, or will they make changes for the next one? Just for the sake of making changes, I don't think England should really make the change, right? I mean, why are we looking for solutions without any problems? I think he's talking about India, but I think Amit, that holds true for England as well. Why would they make any changes instead of because they're already winning, comfortably winning, might I add. Nathan, your thoughts on the performance and just the approach going forward.
Manish just wants to make a point.
Yeah.
Before Nathan starts and growth, I just want to add one more thing. I just hope Jos Buttler continues this form for Rajasthan Royals as well in the IPL. That's it.
Me too, mate.
We have
Jos
Agenda.
Buttler, you would hope, Sunrisers fans would hope for Johnny Bairstow. Again, with Jofra Archer as well for you guys. So there are loads of players. Ben Stokes doesn't look in great touch. So that's something you would hope that in the ODI series can rectify. Nathan, coming to you, man, your final thoughts on the game today. I'm sure you must be delighted with the performance.
Excellent performance, nothing less than I expected. Just to quickly answer those questions, we won't play another batsman for covering unless we're going for Livingston, so someone for the extra spinner, because obviously if we're on red soil. And the only other chance we can make a sub is depending on how Mark Wood pulls up. If he pulls up okay, I don't think we'll make any more subs. I think next game, we'll bat first, put you under pressure, and be 3-1 up.
Frankly speaking, I'd actually respect this England team batting lineup and bowling lineup even more if that happened. Frankly speaking, I mean, one would really have to tip their hat to that because they'd be doing something no one has done in the series. And I'd really look forward to that. For me, that is how you develop a team, not just by saying we're going to keep posting totals batting first and keep preparing it for the T20 World Cup without really having a coherent approach as such. I don't know. Coming to you, Anurag, final thoughts on the game today, man. I've taken so many final thoughts. I don't even know what you can cover now because you've not been left with a lot. But and also a word on Virat Kohli as well, because for all the negativity, he's had. Let's not forget 150 cumulative runs without being dismissed in the last two matches. He is the GOAT. He is definitely the GOAT.
This is the first time he scored 2 consecutive half centuries since his prime year, which was 2016. So that's a good start, I would say. I mean, leading up to 20 in 2 consecutive T20Is. This
Virat
is the first time
looks in sublime touch, Anurag. Everyone else struggled with the extra pace. Only he didn't.
There is a reason why we call him one of the greatest batsmen of all time. There is a reason people like Vivian Richards are in awe of his batting. There is a reason why people like Tendulkar and all the greats, they are absolutely mesmerized with the way he plays, because he does things which a lot of cricketers look at. I'm sorry?
Sorry to interrupt you, Anurag. Saurav Ganguly made that statement about a year or so back. Even if Virat is batting in the West Indies and I have to wake up at 3 a.m. and watch a match, for me, it's a must. I just have my cup of tea and I just watch like this.
Plus, he's a BCCI president, so it's kind of the must.
No, he wasn't the president then.
Yeah.
See, that's what I think. A lot of batsmen look at him and think, and are also in a sense jealous that he does a lot of things that they can't. And these batsmen include some of the greatest batsmen of all time as well. The shots he played today, I think for me, in circumstantially I'm speaking, I think this is right up there with the 2016 Mohali game, where he was batting on a very, very difficult track against Australia, very slow pitch against James Faulkner and all of these people, and he was batting. I till date rated as the greatest innings he's played in Indian colours, personal opinion. But I think circumstantially, as highly as I rate that knock, I'm going to rate this one as well, because under the
Yeah.
pump that he's been in. I mean, that was so beautiful. Those 40 minutes, I was absolutely
Yeah.
lost. And I think uh, I absolutely loved it. I think I'd be okay to forget whatever happened later on because those 40 minutes were beautiful. I
Yeah.
just go watch
I
those highlights.
mean,
Yeah,
fair enough,
Yeah.
fair enough. His innings was something to marvel, and might I add, Jos Buttler was no less. He was
Yeah.
absolutely fantastic. So we have to definitely talk about that. We need
yeah,
consistency with slight tweaking instead of whatever is happening. We are number two. Why are we looking for solutions without any problem? This is what Amit meant with those comments earlier, which I
yeah.
also attributed to England as well. Anurag, but Lavanya from Delhi wants him sacked, so he should be.
Yeah. It's a fictional
now,
character, by the
now,
way. Just don't take it
yeah, of
personally,
course.
whoever is.
Now, can Preston follow England or do what
All the
India do?
Lavanyas in Delhi who are not watching this.
Yeah. Mark Wood bowled like the wind, and Virat took him to the clearance. What he and only he can do. To be
Yeah.
honest, it was just the last over in which Mark Wood was expensive. I think the first three overs
Yeah.
they set
It
up
was
the match for
fabulous.
England.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, lads, for joining in. This has been fantastic. It's almost been an hour. We decided for 40 minutes. We can never really do less than an hour sessions, can we? Right? Thank you
Next
so much for
episode, and who's
joining
gonna
in.
captain us in the T20 World Cup?
7 hour stream. Everyone bring their breakfast and lunch. We are going to start
Yeah.
at 9:30. We are going to go
When
till
we
5
have that
o'clock.
captaincy debate, yeah, I
Yeah,
think we'll have to have that debate over like how do they do the IPL options? Start from
Yeah.
like 11 a.m. end at like 8. I think, and then also we'll still not have a definitive answer.
we'll not be
So
happy.
thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys, for joining in. Do check out B Express Sport, their YouTube channel, and just like for TSD, their socials, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Same for TSD, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. It's the Sports Doyen all across on all social media. LinkedIn as well. Uh, Varun, but Catherine from Manchester wants Ole sacked, so he should be. All right, lads. All right. From being angry in the start to smiling by the end was a good time. Yeah, man. I mean, I was angry. You can look at me. You can see the way I started. I was pissed off. Honestly, pissed off with the approach by the Indians. But all in good time. One must give credit where it's due. As I was mentioning, do check out the Sports Down website. A brand new interview drops with Mr. Gideon Haig tomorrow.
Yeah,
Anurag, what
right.
time? What time?
I actually forgot. I have to, post that. So I think it's going to be out at 12 o'clock, 12 p.m. in the afternoon.
Tentatively 12 p.m. He is done with the edit.
It is
I
going to
know
be. It is
that.
going to be. Yeah.
He
No
is
worries.
done with the edit. I know he just has to schedule it.
Yeah,
So
it's done.
12 p.m. tomorrow with Mr. Gideon Haig. Just as a reference, if by any chance any of you have not heard of him, he is known as the greatest cricket writer in the world, the greatest living cricket writer in the world. So Mr. Gideon Haig, we were very, very, very lucky to have him on the channel. It almost roughly around 50-55 minutes, the conversation. It's fantastic. I mean, it's incredible. His knowledge, the way he seamlessly is able to weave stories into the conversation is beautiful.
Yeah,
He's laughing at that.
he's the most.
Who interviewed him? Amit asks. I interviewed him, man.
Kushagra,
I interviewed him.
Kushagra,
I
I
was lucky
felt he
enough
was
to
the
get-
most. He was the most warmest Australian I've ever talked to. I mean,
He is fun. He is very funny.
Yeah.
His sense of humor is very good. So do check out the video. 12 tomorrow. For everything else, once again, thank you so much to Siddharth, Manish, Nathan, Pratnesh, and Anurag for joining me here. Thank you to everyone who's joined in the comments. I know 1 hour. Some people are not particularly happy with us going in for so long, but we're always going to be an hour special here, right? This is Kushagra on behalf of the entire panel
Kushagra
and
did.
everyone else. Yeah, I did. Everyone else, thank you so much for joining. And Nathan right on cue is left. And so will everyone else. Thank you so much for joining. And up until the next time, this is Kushagra signing off. See you.